Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 425th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, March 24th, 2022. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Cremond, and I'll be a host today. And of course, we're joined with Mr. Mehran Keshe for another week of teaching here. And he promises to have lots for us today. So let's begin. Hello, Mr. Keshe. Are you ready there?
Yes. Good morning, good day to you. As usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers of Keshe Foundation, worldwide and universal wide. In a way, the teaching we teach by the voice of the man, but the teaching goes through the soul of the man. And if you listen to this intro many times, every time you learn something new from the intros. And somehow the intros chosen by Rick matches up to what the teaching is going to be. And it's very interesting. This repeats itself more or less every time. We've seen, we understood, we come to the point that the soul of the man is the creator of the new cycle of life. As we know, in each cycle, there is a need for parents to guide. In the life of the man, we need prophets to guide the soul of the man or for his physical condition. And then we have messengers in the name of scientists. This year, today, this week, is the cycle of 1401, the 15th century in the Islamic Shia belief. But the interesting part about this is that the Islamic world, by the order of the religious leaders of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei and the rest, has been recognized to be the year where Messiah will declare himself, will show himself and clear the path for the evolution of the man to the new cycle of understanding. In the Islamic Republic of Iran, the structure of the universities and others, military forces has been established to protect and guide once the manifestation of Mehdi has been announced, to protect him and to guide him in away from harm. We see the same thing is within the calendars of the Jewish calendar. The Jewish rabbis expecting the manifestation of the promised one this year. Down goes the line of the others. We see what will show this year with what is officially, if you received any messages from Iran, from most of the nationals, they tell you the year of the manifestation of Mehdi. But in fact, who is the Mehdi? What is the position of the Mehdi? Isn't it the man himself? Isn't it the understanding of the process of the creation to know that what is need to be done to elevate the soul of the man? How do we understand it? What do we understand from this process of 1401, the cycle, the year which the Islamic world waits for the manifestation of Mehdi? And they are sure it will happen this year. And what is the process for all of us? What is our understanding of? Where do we mature to? What do we mature to understand, to recognize the Mehdi, the presence of the hidden one, the presence of what was promised, shall bring the end of all the hardships and the war. As usual, man looks outside nationalistic war, wars of aggression of religions. But in fact, the war and the war is the war of the man within himself. The war to live the conflict of two lives, of the physical life and the life of the soul. That's the war which the promised one is to accomplish and to complete for man to understand he is the man is the soul of the man that has to come to an end within the walls of within the structure of the physicality of the man. The teaching of past few years has brought you to that point, leads you to that condition, brings you to understand the position of the physicality and separation of the physicality from the soul of it. But in fact, the messengers, the Mehdi, is you within your soul. No one can teach you unless you find it yourself. I can take you to the water like the horse. If you are not prepared to drink, nothing can be done. The thirst has to come within. The thirst of understanding the truth has to come within. The teachings of the Keshe Foundation, as we are the messengers of the universe within the physicality of body of the man, is very simple. You up to now understood that you do good, you give whatever you call to the church, you do good deeds to elevate your soul, that you will receive something that then you live a better life. But in fact, the teaching of the Keshe Foundation is totally different. You're happy with the good doings on this planet. The teaching of the Keshe Foundation is to extend the soul to do the good things outside the physicality of the body of man, in the dimension of the fields of the creation, in the dimension of the fields of the universe. You are happy to give some money to a beggar. You are happy to build a church for the religion. You were happy to give a pair of shoes to a man who doesn't, and you were so proud, you did so good. But now we have allowed you to extend this beyond the physicality of the man. If you're happy that you receive elevation by giving a pair of shoes or some money in the bucket when you went to the church or the mosque, that you receive elevation and what you want, now with a new understanding, the universe is your oyster. What would you like to give to universe, to universal community? And then you understand what shall be received by your soul. That your soul, you were happy to be a shopkeeper. Now you are the king of your own soul. Now you become the warehouse man, because now you have access to give more to the universal community, if this is the way you think. In a way, you are happy with the crumbs of the elevation of your soul in the dimension of physicality. With these teachings, we show you the way to be generous and to be the giver in the dimension of the universe. In a way, soul of the man in a dimension of physicality, once learns the teaching, understands the process of the creation, now connects to the other souls of the universe and unicos. And within a flick of a finger, you become from a small soul within the center of the brain of the man to a star, to another universe. So simple. You were looking for crumbs. I do good that something might happen good to me. Now, with the extension of the soul of the man beyond the boundary of the physicality, which is part of the teaching, now you can extend this giving, if it's truly within you, to become a star within instant. You shine, you connect, and with it, you lead to the creation of the new cycle. Isn't this what we said in the enhancement unit? That some of you, once you go in, we see only the light, which means the boundary of the physicality is past, and now you become that shining star. You become that giver to give. When you're a star, when you shine, you're a giver, even though at the same time you receive. So we understand with the new teaching, an understanding of totality, one man can become a star once you understand there is no limitation in the fields of the universe, and in a way bypasses or superpasses the dimension of the soul of physicality. You become like that car with what we call a flashlight in the front. you become the source. And you become the driver of that flashlight. You become the source, what to shine, and then your job is find a flashlight which shines 360 degrees unconditionally in all directions. The elevation of the soul of the man was not the whole purpose of you being able to go beyond your physicality, get in touch with the uncle and get in touch with the cousin or go somewhere. The whole purpose of the teaching in elevation of the soul of the man has been to make that shining star from within the soul of the man, within the physicality of the man, to become instantaneously a star, to shine upon all the same. This is what we said in a hidden way about the soul of the devoted Universal Council members, that once they get to that point, they shine. They don't need to show their physicality. Now you understand how the truth unravels itself. Then you understand that the teachings of past 424 teachings has been to bring you to the teaching of today. That every soul can become a star. Is not just to extend beyond the dimension of physicality. You can still hold on to that physicality, because that physicality is where the center of the sun has been kept together. It's the seed, is dimension of the existence, is the dimension of the creation of that soul. So we come to one point. Where do you see your soul? Do you want to be in the dimension of putting a coin in a bucket of a beggar and think you've done good and you receive elevation because you gave? Do you want to be the guy who gives his shoes and thinks, I have an extra pair, at least he can walk and I'll receive more because I gave? Or are you those who build churches, pays for building places for the worship of the fallacy of the brain of the man, and think I build a church, I'll guarantee myself a place in heaven? The heaven exists within the understanding of the man himself, and the hell is man is ignorant to the truth. The purpose of the teachings has been to bring you to that point, to show you if you were happy to live in a village, now we give you the universe. But in the dimension of universe, you have to have the capability to live with it. You have to understand the process of it. You have to be there, not to go through university, but to understand the truth in so many ways. What I've said very recently, if the province of Ayatollah Khamenei of Iran and the Islamic world and the other religions is that this year will be the year of manifestation of Mehdi, is how many of you are going to be that Mehdi for your own soul? That you start the new generation of the cycle of life in a correct way. Mehdi by name, Mehdi by living, Mehdi by conducting the correct way to understand. Not to be crying that I lost something, where what I lost has become the step for the progress of the others. Be proud in your loss has become the gain of the others. Mankind soon will cry to understand more. But in a way, we have paved the path for you to understand. We brought you to the point to understand that what is promised to be is not the Mehdi as a person, but is a Mehdi as a totality of the soul of the mankind and the planet Earth and its citizens, to understand the truth about the creation and about what we call the precious value of their soul. Then you understand why the teaching has taken so long. We are preparing you to create the soul of Mehdi as a collective soul of the creation created on this planet. cycle of the new life, new generation, new position in the universe as a new unicos, where physicality has no dimension, where the understanding of the process of the creation of what we call interaction of the fields to lead to a perfect life becomes the essence of the creation. We are messengers. We know how to deliver the message, and we know how to guide people to understand the message. It's no use when I deliver a letter to you and you only need German and it's in English. It has no meaning unless I can translate that to the German that you understand. Then, even when I translate, to be able to carry the essence of the emotion of that letter, that you get the full feeling of it, not just reading like a computer with no emotion. Mankind has to understand the emotion of what is going to happen, what is going to be the essence of the creation in the next cycle, not only of his own. It's like soul of the man from now on is like that little bulb you see in a football stadium in a floodlight. On its own still shines, but collectively will flood the field. The soul of the humanity, the soul of the created things on this planet has to become that floodlight, that become that star, that process of the creation where the man moves from individuality to the collective awareness of the essence of the creation as one. The soul of Mehdi is the soul of the created on this planet. When the mankind, when the created things understand to go through the process, needs to understanding of the totality. Which one of you would like to be the first bulb in that floodlight? Which one of you has managed to understand the truth about the process of the creation? And then we understand the year of Mehdi is upon us because we have received the teaching. We've been guided to understand the essence of the soul of the Creator within us, amongst us, and to understand collectively we become that Mehdi. It cannot be one anymore to be put on a cross and be crucified. It cannot be one that it can be put on the wall and fired on to be destroyed and to be killed, that it might stop the message of the Creator. The messengers of the Creator are those who give their souls for the others to elevate, not their physicality. In truth, mankind has become that torch, not only for himself, it becomes that what we call floodlight that enlightens the rest of the soul of the created things on this planet, and collectively the mankind elevates to the position of creation of the new universe. Now, maybe you understand what is the purpose of our work, what is the purpose of creating such a position. Every universe in the universe, unicos, has been created the same way, out of the collective soul of the created, which they reach the point of maturity at the same time in the same position, the day of promise. The promise day is when the whole of the soul of the created reach the understanding of totality and needs one to shine for the others to come on. You become that first candle that starts the fire, and you become that single candle which lights the rest of the candles in the church and in the mosque, and in a way to light up the whole stadium. This time, the stadium is the unicos, and the soul of the man is that bulb, is that point that matches with the others to become the same. When you look at a floodlight, you can't see one light from the other. They all shine collectively as one. And this is the beauty of the teachings of today, that man understands that the promise of the Mehdi is upon us, but not the way, again, the world of religion has seen it in the dimension of physicality. The totality of the maturity of the soul of the man on this planet is a promised day. in a way that we as one, we become we as all. In so many ways, maybe now you have to understand how far can I go? How much can I understand about the creation of my own physicality, my own soul, that I stay not looking better light in that floodlight, but be equal and as shining as the others. It's not a competition. It's understanding the elevation of the soul of the man, that all entities shine the same when they're in the same light. When the shining of your soul manifests itself, only can shine against the light, against the dimension of the soul of the Creator and nothing else. Earth on its own is a dark planet, unless its fields interacts with the field of the sun, and then that creates the light. So when we speak about the collective soul of the man to be the Bhakti, only shines with the brightness, with the unisons, when collectively stands in front of the light of the Creator and gets enlightened by the interaction of it, is so big that the light we create on this planet for the daily time we see is nothing compared to the light which sits and emanated from the sun. The sun is the creator, is the essence, is the creator of the life. And the collective soul of the man at the time of the manifestation of Mehdi, we become that planet, that the interaction of its fields with the interaction of the fields of the creator will shine as another universe, as another dimension, another understanding of the totality. Mankind is ready for that process. And for that purpose, we are pushing with the dimensions of the understanding. In that process, we are pushing for all the nationalities you call yourselves and all the universities you call yourself to get into the race to understand, not to conquer the universe, but through the enhancement units we provide, to conquer, to understand the power of your soul. You get into enhancement units thinking that I can go to the Mars and the moon. But in fact, once you get into the enhancement units, you understand the travel of the soul of the man, which is much faster, it's more instantaneous. And in that process, once we kindle enough light across this planet, as we are distributing so many enhancement units across, then collectively this planet will shine independent and no or less, irrespective of color, race, and religion, and path of belief. Maybe now you understand Ayatollah Khomeini of Iran and the Iranian government understood the process. They made 1401 the year of the manifestation and appearance of Mehdi. I am here, but I am as a soul of the totality, as that I includes all citizens of the souls of this planet. Maybe it's time for man to understand. Maybe it's time for humanity to take that step, that the totality of the knowledge for man to become aware of his soul has been given. It's man who has to open that door. It's man who has to close the doors of ignorance, racism, and so many ways of prejudices to himself, to the others, and totality of understanding. If we're going to shine, we shine together. The famous word in the song, "You'll never walk alone," which means in collective awareness of the totality of existence of the souls, when we walk together side by side in the dimension of the soul of the man, the walking is that will shine by reflection, by interaction of the fields of the totality of the soul of the created, in presence of the fields of the creator. There is no light on earth if there was no sun. This is what has to be understood. And this is the whole purpose of the teachings. To extend the soul of the man beyond the soul of the physicality, that it shines as a star in totality. And when you shine, as you were created from the same amino acid, you cannot be any brighter than the other. You all become the same, and you understand that the soul of physicality will become what we call the essence of holding the whole structure of life together. As the soul of the physicality of the man is based on the amino acid of the creation of this planet, so all the souls from this planet will have a common denominator connection to be, to shine, and to elevate the rest. What would be the future of the human race in the space? If you choose the flight system, you'll be still that aliens who travels from poles to poles, from planet to planet. If you choose the flight system of the soul of the man, the totality of the man will become that shining star. Now is for the humanity to decide, am I going to be that UFO passenger dragging around from centuries and thousands of years on this universe? Or collectively we agree that the time has come for the soul of the man, it's a collective soul of the creation, to become that star. And with it, in one instance, become the center of a new universe, to shine. Because once that position achieved, you will find that there is no space fields within this solar system and within this galaxy and universe that can accommodate such a powerful source unless it finds itself a new structure. We know this knowledge very well. We call it the division of neutron. We call it the separation of the electron from the proton. And this, when the humanity reaches the point of unified fields to understand the totality and becomes one, then we become that electron that will be rejected from or ejected from the what we call the mother seed, and we become that new cycle, the new universe. This is why in the intro it always says, if you understand word by word of it, what will become? You become a new cycle of life. You were expecting to become a sun, but collectively you become a universe. It's for mankind to decide that point. It's for mankind to understand the message of the Mehdi and understand the progress in understanding the totality is more important than one individuality to be the king, the leader, the president, or whatever shape and name we put on them. Now you understand the process of the creation. I am the Mehdi, and my job has been to create that new separation of what I call neutron for the creation of the electron to be ejected from it to become a new universe. We have watered this plant well, and it's time for it to flourish, and it's time for the bird to take the first flight to leave the nest. The totality of understanding of the process of creation now forces mankind to work as one, to make one soul, to understand the soul of the creation, that it goes back and is exactly in line with the writing of the first book. The creation of an electron from the principal plasma, the neutron. This universe has been the neutron for the electron of the life of this planet to be created, that when it reaches the maturity, when it gathers enough fields, not only from this planet, but from the universe, what we call unicos, it comes the time of new birth. The generation of the new cycle as an electron, that in turn, this as what we call a new dimension becomes what we call the new entity, the new totality in the unicos. Maybe from today you understand how even the whole creation of the unicos started. We are the same within, and within, when we gather enough, we become another. And then with that process, again within, we become another. It does not mean that one universe or one part of the unicos is bigger or stronger than that. But in the process of the creation, all the neutrons are the same, shine the same strength, but in different position of attraction and rejection of the fields of different strength. Now we understand where the mankind is going to go. Now we understand the process of the creation. Now we understand that the earth, through the interaction of the fields, unified fields of its souls, is getting ready, is preparing for that, what we call separation and creation of a new life in totality amongst the positions in the unicos. You were happy for me to give you a UFO. You were happy to sit in an enhancement unit and fly from New York to Tehran. Now I gave you the seed, the structure to understand how you as a human race have to work collectively to bring the energies together that allows the electron, what you call it, the division, what we call the decay process to start, that this village of man become the center of another universe. This is what we came here for. And this is what we do regularly. It's not one-off. The earth is not the first place where what we call electron has been created from. I've done this many times in different shapes and colors, and I'm mastering what I do. Because in that creation, we'll see a new light to shine, but the reflection and interaction with the fields of the Creator. In a way, I create candles. I take time to make it, and as a candle maker, when I light it, only can be seen as light when it interacts with the light, with the fields of the Creator. In a way, the purpose is to show one by one, lighting candles are unicos to show the beauty of the Creator, to be in love and to be devoted to serve. You're happy to light a candle in the church or the table with the lover. The lover is a creator, and we create a candle to light it, to show the beauty of the lover. This is why we always told you the manifestation and what we call the presence of Mitra. Mitra is the lover, and the candle is the light to show the extent of love in reflection and interaction of the fields of the lover, which is the Creator. Now you understand why we brought you step by step, even in the production of enhancement unit. If you look the shape of the universe and you look at the shape of the enhancement unit, there is no difference. You looked for a dome to go in. We gave you the dimension of the creation of the unicos within the structure of the soul of the Creator, and with it, you create a dimension of what we call the universe. Look at the dimensions and the proportions in the fields and the shapes of your enhancement unit, and then you understand how we walked you into understanding, living, and in a way elevating the soul of the mankind to become that electron in totality to lead to the creation of the new universe. What's the purpose of gathering so many beautiful flowers, making them to grow and do nothing with them? It has to show its beauty. The soul of the creation, the soul of the creator, the soul of interaction of the two has to shine. That light shares the essence of the creation within the unicosmos. One day mankind understands the messenger of Mehdi. One day mankind understands what this message entails and how the humanity as a whole and the soul of the citizens of this planet, through the love of Mitra, has jumped the gun. And from what I call little tiny planet, now are ready to become the center of the new universe. Once an electron is ejected from neutron, then it has its own cycle of life, independent, and it can dictate its own position, dimension, and size. Now, maybe as a humanity, we understand why this year has been promised to be the year of manifestation of Mehdi. It's the maturity of the man to understand the process of his own creation and a collective interaction to lead to the creation of the new dimension in the soul of, in a dimension of, and in a position of a new universe. We cannot gift more than this to the planet where Mitra fell in love with. In a way, humanity has received the energies of the universe through the love of Mitra. And the manifestation of the children of Mitra will bring a new dimension, a new essence in the world of creation, where the shining of the light of the soul of its creator will become the same as the creator. In totality, we are ready for that process. In totality, this year we set the scene for that process of unification of the souls. In a way, in a hidden way, we gave you a lot of hints what to come. We give one enhancement unit to every nation. We give one enhancement unit to every university that can evolve and elevate the soul of the understanding of the knowledge which leads to the freedom of the man. In a way, freedom to become part of that light, to shine by the soul and not the physicality. As I said, we have set out and we play your game because you're so physical. We give you a new enhancement unit. Now the enhancement unit has gone into mass production, and we hope by the end of this year, we give something like maybe 500 to 700 units across this planet to universities, to the governments, to space agencies, and even to the churches and to the mosques, that they understand what was the purpose of all that work. We are not here to look, we are charitable. We are here to create the condition of equality, that all the souls shine the same in the process of the manifestation of Mehdi. In a way, as a human race, we are ready for that step, and it takes one at a time to build up. As I said, in the past weeks, the Keshe Foundation has started the process of the manufacturing of the new unit. We had to wait. There was a process which needed to be completed, and in so many ways, in its completion, we have seen the totality of what we call the essence of the creation. What we need to understand is that mankind has entered the process of conversion, the process of understanding that now We are on the race to become the center of a new universe. We are on the race to understand the totality of what we call the structures of the creation. As I said, this picture shows our work clearly. The mass production in delivering units across this planet in the coming weeks and days has started. You shall see, as part of the whole structure, that we have started that process unknowingly by man, but knowingly by us, that you all understand this is not a game. This is not to give an enhancement unit to one or the other to be better. This is to give a unit that mankind will line up to create the condition for the evolution of the what we call the soul of the man through the knowledge of physicality. This factory will be full of these systems, waiting for universities and governments to ask for and to deliver. From next month, we push for about 100 units a month to be ready. Keshe Foundation will support this. First time we showed you 1 and 2, and we learned, we taught. Now it's become a race. This factory is what we call the breeding point for man to start to understand the totality, and with it, to start the process of what we call interaction of the souls of the man. Maybe in the coming time, man as a race will become educated to understand what has been given to him as a gift. And it's for you to understand the process. It's for you to create that condition. The first units will be flown to Arizona. And at the same time, the 2 units arriving at Arizona, one goes to NASA to invite the scientists to join the race of elevation of the soul of the man, even though they're interested to get to Mars and Moon. NASA Corporation has been aware and has been informed of the delivery within the next few days. One will go to the city of Tehran. One will go to another city in Tehran. Austria receives the first 2 in the coming days. And then, in the progressive development, we shall deliver one to Tel Aviv and one to Mecca. And at the same time, we'll give units to the Chinese and to the Japanese and to the rest. It's your responsibility, the way we gave the keys to the nations to share the knowledge some 10 years later. Now we give system to use the knowledge and the key to develop the flight system, not to fly the physicality, but to be able to release the soul of the man to take the flight of universe. These units will be spread rapidly across this planet, and I'm sure nations, scientists will do the same. We have the units, we'll manufacture units, and from this week on, is your responsibility to get your nations to ask for a unit to be delivered to that scientists can evolve and develop, and to bring the totality of understanding of the physicality and elevation of the soul of man. In 2012, exactly 10 years ago, I announced about the same time about the release of the key to nations. The key, a USB stick with the knowledge in it. 10 years later, now we give the system to it as they were too lazy to develop the technology. Now it's the same. Go to your governments, go to your scientists and universities and tell them there is a space unit free as a gift. Can we bring it in and develop it? We asked the Universal Council to do something, and they're still, as usual, in the dimension of physicality, battling with what to do. Last time, the Italians broke the rank in Europe, and through the parliament in Italy and the rest, they received the key and they broke rank. This time, we broke the rank ourselves with the Americans, that NASA becomes the leading scientific organization to work with Keshe Foundation in Arizona to bring the change. Get your universities to apply, to convince us that they're ready to go through that process, not just for the flight, but totality of the innovation of the science of the man, and we give you the units free. Does not matter if you are in Africa, you live in New York, or you're in the jungles of the Amazon. If you're in the jungles of Amazon, we'll deliver it to you one way or another. Talking about the jungles of Amazon, we have seen a lot of work in Brazil. A lot of heavy work done by Rafael and the team of the Brazil to bring the knowledge across this planet. This week is the birthday of Rafael. I think Brazilians have done enough to receive the first unit as a gift for his birthday. A lot of work has been done in Brazil, as Brazil has been the mother point of contact for humanity with outside for thousands of years. Now we give you the system to complete it within the universities of Brazil. We gave the unit to Iran as is the birthplace of Mitra. We gave a unit to Austria as is the last point when mankind realized wars can become the whole of the world involved in through the existence of Hitler. Now we show the same country can become the essence of peace and knowledge. The rest is for you to convince your governments and your universities to ask the Keshe Foundation for a unit and what they are going to do with it, and within the next 2 months to achieve flight of the soul of the man and not in the dimension of the physicality of the man. It's a responsibility of knowledge seekers, the way the Italian knowledge seekers did in 2012, by going to the parliament, forced the government to ask, and we delivered the key to the embassy. This time is for you as knowledge seekers to get your governments to ask for the enhancement unit and guarantees that will be used for peaceful application and sign their nations to world peace treaty. We'll bring the change. We'll bring the change in a correct way. But we have to understand these units are there for elevation of the soul of the man and not for man to fly to Mars, to Moon and the others. Then, if the scientists decide to test it, on the 6th of June, they can try to go to Moon or to Mars or anywhere else they decide. John in Arizona is waiting for his delivery next week or two, and the same will go with NASA. NASA at the moment is baffled how they're receiving the system as a gift. In a way, they were, and they are still doing a lot of work. They were the first organizations became aware of this new technology and development since 1985. And so it's time for them to at least to see what they have done and what they could get and where they can go. It is not our job to deliver, cook, and chew it for you. It's our job to show you the way. Now it's time for you as knowledge seekers to join your university, join your government, and start the first steps in production of the systems. In a way, we show you the first step, and hopefully, and I'm sure the rest of you and the universities will develop the next steps. This time I decided to give one to NASA first to stop the embarrassment of the last time that the Americans had to come and ask for it on the year of, or the day of the election of President Obama. This time we work with all the scientific organizations and agencies to see that the elevation of the soul of the man understood and is achieved, and this year become the year of manifestation of Mehdi, which means the collective awareness, understanding and knowledge of the elevation of the soul of the man and mankind to start a new cycle, as to start the creation of the electron, that it becomes in due course ejected from the mother, from the neutron, to create, to become part of, but independent of. And this universe has been promised to be a shining universe, as is the birth, the mother point of the creation of manifestation of children of Mitra. The lover to stand opposite the creator and shine beautiful enough to keep the love of the creator in the direction and dimension of attraction of it. In so many ways, the beauty of the creation of this new universe has a reason. In a way, the creation of Earth as a new universe in the outer edges of the lights and the strength, presence, existence of the fields of the creator will create a dimension of the womb within the two, which leads to creation and lights of the creator to shine in a beautiful way amongst all created universes and the unicorns. Understanding of this has become very simple and has been important for us to be able to do this. In a way, what we look at is the creation of the new cycle of generation. In a way that as the creator sits within the center of the creation, mankind will come to understand the totality of the understanding of what we call its own existence. Mankind will come to understand that it has become the center of the love of the creator for what he has created to show its lover. It's not that only Mitra shows its love to its lover. The lover shows the same love back to Mitra. And the citizens of this planet are that, what are called flower, which receive the totality, the beauty of the creator to shine on. This is why we chose the earth and we made it that shining star to become the shining universe. We could not tell you this from the beginning, but now we see that the human race is ready for that transition. Maybe today's teaching will be understood in the time to come, and then it becomes the seed for what we call the play of the universal community to become the travelers to see this beautiful universe which has become the center of attraction and attention of the Creator. We have planted well, we watered it well, we had to clean some of the thorns and dead leaves from it for it to be ready to shine when the Mitra takes its time and place and position to make it the womb of the Creator and to come to be equal and the same. I thank you for today's teaching, as without you, we cannot teach, even though we can teach through the soul of the man. I hope you understood the new position and the purpose of the teachings to some extent today. Maybe now you understand what is the responsibility of knowledge seekers. Your responsibility is to sow the seed of the knowledge of the creation and the elevation of the soul of the man. And we give you the seed. The seed is not a GANs anymore or something else. It's the seed of the knowledge, understanding, and we give you the tools, the plant pots to grow these seeds in the form of the enhancement unit. Is for you as knowledge seekers to take the banner, contact your governments and universities, and Keshe Foundation will deliver unit by unit. And let's see, last time, as collective knowledge seekers 10 years ago, we managed to reach 75% of the governments of this planet. See how much you get your governments to accept the units, your universities, and with it commit themselves to peace. In a way, we have given you the rose of peace. It's for you to turn the guns of the soul of the man to what I call the beauty birds of the freedom of the man in the space of the universe. That little white dove that we symbolize as the sign of peace has to become the sign of the soul of this planet. But collectively, we bring the process for the peace and the elevation of the soul of the man to become that new universe on its own. I've done my job. I still carry on teaching, but slowly, slowly we open your eyes to the new knowledge of understanding totality. When you become universe, you need to know a lot to be able to create a condition of life that stays perfect and reflects the true essence of the Creator. Thank you very much for today. And I have one thing to say to His Eminence the Harmony of Iran, and to Vatican and to Jerusalem. The year of Mehdi is upon you. It's for you to decide how to unify, to show the beauty of the Creator, which is the soul of the totality of the Creator on this planet. We provide the tools. It's for you to water it, to show its beauty with the knowledge, correct conduct, and what we call the elevation of the soul of the man, and not to slave the man through his soul. Thank you very much, Rick. We go through a break and we come back and we try to answer human questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. We'll take a break here with some enhancement unit videos and be back in a few minutes with the 425th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here on Thursday, March 24th, 2022.